नमस्ते कस्तो छ राम्रो छ जिन्दगी सारा रारा मोटर गाडीमा I'm so glad to be here. Nepal and India has a long history of being brotherhood, and I'm so happy to be here with Kusum and shared my thought process on global development, sustainable development goals, and it was a very impactful session with her. I'm looking forward to meet again and talk more on how the global development and global health, the challenges among the youth and the crisis around the world on a health prospect. So stay tuned and looking forward to speak more. See you around. Thank you. Dharai dharai dhanyavad.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nihal Mayur. See you later. Hello everyone, welcome to UNC Talks. Today I have guest Dr. Nihal Mayur from Mumbai. He is an international development expert and social scientist. He has in total 15 years of work experience. Welcome to you, Dr. Nihal.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be at a beautiful university campus and a beautiful place in Jaipur. And I'm honored to be invited here by Kusum. Uh, Kusum, a social worker, a change maker, and an amazing personality to be with. So it's my honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. So in the C Talks program, as you know that we are discussing more about life-related experience, unfolded story, health and well-being. So today we'll be talking more about sustainable development goal. So we'll be jump through the segment. As you know, we have 5 segment in the C Talks program. In the first segment, we'll be talking about happiness. Dr. Nihal, for you, what is happiness?
Very beautiful question. I feel that this is the first time I've been asked this question. So, happiness for me, or for you, or for everyone may vary from material to quality. For me, happiness is everywhere. I see a bird eating, it gives me happiness. I see a dog barking, give me happiness. Anything which is giving happiness to everyone on this planet is give me happiness. So my agenda, my objective is to make sure that whoever around me, I cannot change the world, but I can definitely change people around me, living beings around me. For me, people are all living beings on this planet. So if everyone lives in peace, smile, and be sustainable is my happiness.
Sounds great. And nowadays, what are you doing?
I am a development consultant. I've got 15 years of experience working on multidisciplinary segments. I started my career as an NGO representative to the United Nations. Then I had an opportunity to serve the desk. I traveled abroad. I did international missions. I worked on the Prime Minister's office. I was the observer at General Assembly, and I served the Sixth Committee, Legal Committee under the President's office. And now I'm doing an independent consulting from past 1 year. My objective is to create maximum impact, and now being a consultant, I have exposure to work around the world, and I have that freedom to work with my own country and work with other countries too. So I'm doing a consulting right now, and in context to sustainable development goals.
Wow, you have been engaged in several positions and you have lots of experience. Today, I'll try to explore some of the experience. And in the second segment, we'll be talking about real talk. You have already said that you have traveled many more countries. May I know more about how many countries you have traveled till now and what's the purpose of traveling?
Okay, I've traveled 58 countries precise,
Oh my God,
including
58.
including India and USA. These are my home countries where I have a home. So, including excluding India and USA, I travel 56 countries. And my purpose of travel is I will go. I visited official assignments. Apart from official assignments, I like to explore the culture. If a great example why I travel is when you go to a country, every country has its own tribe, own natives, and own traditions. That is the beauty of diversity about the world. Every nooks and corner of this world is different from one, and that diversity is beauty. And that diversity gives an opportunity that how 500 years before, how the people survived. So one example, the area where I worked in Maharashtra called tribal area, it's called Warli. So people of Warli, it is very famous Wali painting. So why the painting was made? Now it is look at a art, but I look at as a culture, because that time there was no language. 20,000 years ago, what they did a painting for the next generation to know that how the thing goes. So that art is just not art. It is a language of people who could not speak. So my purpose of travel to go around the world to learn from the different culture. One more example I'll give you. I learned of vertical farming from Vietnam, which I helped my people here in tribal area how to do a vertical farming. Now the mountain has been used because there is no landscape for such islands or such places where there are lack of landscape. So people do landscape farming and now garden farming. This is one example. So that is my purpose is to go and learn the different type of technologies, low cost technologies which can be adopted anywhere in the world. So sharing is caring. What is my purpose of travel?
Perfectly said. And may I know more about your childhood dream? Like in the childhood period, you want to become a traveler or anything else?
I want to become. I am what I am. My travel is based on learning.
Okay.
I feel that every day is a learning.
Hmm.
So when I was in university, the story out of the box came in my mind. I used to sit outside my campus, and more I used to learn from the campus. I used to look around the birds. I used to look around the small insect and creature, and I used to feel that everyone is trying to survive or sustaining. So survive and sustaining the life is between these two models. Everyone, every creatures. So even we, human being, we survive or we sustain. And so if we balance that, then all lives will be happily survive. A tiger, when it kills an animal, when it kills an animal, he eat and he leaves. When he leaves, the hyena comes and eat. When hyena leaves, the monitor lizard will come and eat. When monitor lizard will leave, the ant will eat, and then rest the bacteria.
Yes, it's
So
ecosystem.
it's an ecosystem. So if we follow that ecosystem, I feel that this world will be, the world is beautiful, we human will be beautiful. There's nothing to change in the world, it is us to change our habits. The planet will be remaining without us or with us. It is us to balance or practice. Otherwise, we will disappear, but the planet will be here forever.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. I'll jump in this third segment. There we'll be talking about behind the scene. So may I know more about your journey to a sustainable development goal? You have worked since many more years on sustainable development goal and its localization process. So could you please share more about it?
Yes, my journey for learning about the Sustainable Development Goal was excellent, and I'm still learning and still going on. It's an endless process. In 2012, I was shortlisted to work on Millennium Development Goals to transformation of Sustainable Development Goals. So the first agenda, after so many meetings between the member states, if I have to go in local about MDG, MDG was 8 goals, and eight goals was transformed, and that was selected in the room. But when the SDG was transformed, it was 80 million votes by global people. So the World We Want campaign was launched, and we asked everyone. The United Nations asked every stake engagements was there, from ministers, from the political, from the bureaucrats, from the corporates, from the academics, from civil society and individual human. Everyone has a right to vote, and the World We Want campaign was successfully launched. And after 80 million votes, people decided the 17 goals, which was adopted as a historic day on 27th September 2015, the Sustainable Development Goals, with 17 goals, 169 targets, and 302 indicators. This was completely a Bible for a global development. When this was introduced, I was trained under the United Nations to understand the policy making, to understand how it can be transformed. So I've been trained for 2 years under the United Nations, and then I was in action since then. I'm still in action, and I will be in action post SDG Agenda 2.
Nice to know. So, do you think SDG can be achieved globally by 2030? And also, please clarify more about how other countries are doing for achieving SDG.
I basic. I will not go into the context of transformation or a big word like indicators or 17 goals. I'll speak simple. What is SDG? SDG is nothing but your social habits, your habit for yourself. Sustainability is nothing to be taught. If you see 500, 1000 years ago, we have limited resources, but all life lives together. Now we have extra resources with the help of technologies. Now we are fighting. It is just to understand your basic sciences about your religion, about your culture. They teach us the same thing. Live, eat, don't waste food. This is, if you don't waste food, then you will achieve SDGs. If you have a clean habit, then you will save yourself from getting attached to any diseases. If we keep our environment clean, there will be no pollution, then of course we will achieve everything. It is your habit. It is our habit, how we take this. So as achieving SDG is not 2030 is not an agenda. It is agenda of changing a social mindset. It is an agenda of understanding people that this planet has a limited resources which will get over. So whatever you eat, whatever you throw is not from your pocket. It is not about the money. It is about the resources. You can buy today, but tomorrow your children can't afford water. If you see 20 years ago, the water was free. Today we pay money for water. Just imagine what will be after 50 years. So we should understand that the resources is limited and we are more people. So we have to understand this concept and live sustainably.
So SDG goals are very ambitious. And do you think isn't it challenging for low and middle income country to go with developed country together?
Absolutely not, because if you see the statistics report, the developed nations are creating more pollution than underdeveloped nations, and the challenges is for a global it's a global challenge. So you should not look from the country prospect. We should look as a global prospect. The boundaries are created by the human being, but not by the nature. So one great example to end, and I would share that there was an acid rain in California, and acid rain destroyed the entire farmland. When the scientists started doing a research that how the acid rain happens in California, and do you know what the answer was? The answer was the acid rain was because in Italy there was a gas factory which was leaked. Just imagine, the gas factory was leaked in Italy, in Europe, and it impacted California in Northern America. So nature does not work with boundaries. So it is not just a country challenge, it's a global challenge, and we should know that SDG achievement is based on your practices. Government can come up with thousands of policies, but we have to understand and adopt in our living. So I feel that we should know that SDG is nothing but a moral science which everyone should practice. Wasting food, everyone knows it's our culture, it's our religion, it's our ethics. Everything says that. So these are the basic things which if we take care of, and definitely then we will achieve, and it will be an ongoing process. It's not that today I save water and tomorrow I waste it. It's not that. It should be on a base of your habits, on a social and moral sciences.
Sustainable way.
And sustainability, indeed.
Okay, thank you so much for your meaningful
I
insight.
would like to add a closing statement from the quote which I wrote, and on the basis of what the question you asked me, that some records are meant to broken, but some are to fix. So maybe Olympic people or sportsmen, sports personalities can break records, but we should fix the record. It means that whatever we're wasting, we should reduce it. Make sure that you take care of your planet as your home. The world is our home, and we are one humankind. And I close one statement saying that it's Jai Jagat. Jai Jagat means praise the world. Thank you.
Much appreciated for your meaningful insight.
Thank you.
In the fourth segment, we'll be talking more about health talk. So, Dr. Nihal, you are much more busy in roaming around the world and meeting. So, isn't it difficult to manage your personal life and work-life balance?
Balancing is a part of life. Compromising and understanding is another part of life. So sometimes you forced to do it, sometimes you chose to do it. So I do it with my choice, and I feel good about it. So I do it, and it's a part of my life. Working for people, working for global community. understanding the challenges faced by the global communities and coming out of solution based inside the world. We have solutions for everything. It is just we have to look around, and it is not important. If you see that, once a research is done and a finding is a finding is done, the paper is published. But after the paper is published, who is adopting it in development and incubate it? That is very important. So I request, every research people that whatever you learn and whatever on research you do it, it should be incubated and it should be practiced. That is more important. Just not to research it, and just the finding should not be in your research paper, it should be in practical. That is very important.
Exactly. Knowledge translation is very missing. Like,
Absolutely.
yes, yes, yes. So, how would you like to remember your family support in your work and personal life? Motivation.
Okay, that's too personal question, but yeah, I would love to happy to answer. My mother is my motivation. She is a genetic scientist, and I come from a family where everyone is a social worker. So from a very young age, I knew that it's a tradition in India. Doctor son will become a doctor, or engineer son will become an engineer. That's a very simple quote. So I knew that I have to serve the humanity. That was like in my blood, and that's still in my blood. And I carry that legacy of serving the people, serving the humankind, and serving the humanity. And we proudly say that we are a servant of humanity. We are working. It's not just because we are lucky. We say that we are lucky because we have an opportunity to serve others. It's a saying that it is very easy for someone to ask someone, but to give someone is the one who is the lucky one.
Yes, yes.
So I'm very happy to be at the part where I am serving the people, and it's my opportunity, and I take it as an opportunity, and I take it as an honor with pride that I have chose to do this work for humanity. So I'm very thankful to my mother. She is my unconditional support, and she is my lifeline, my power, and she is my powerhouse. Yes.
Yes, yes. So, a family much more encourage us to manage our stress in daily life. If we get much more support, then it will be a flowing way.
Yes, I say that I'm the lucky one to born in a family where I've been supported. There are many youth who are doing better than me, and who can do the best, but they don't get opportunity because of the family stress and the challenges. So the family support is very important for every individual to grow. I say that we are nothing. It is our family who, because of them, what we are today. So I feel that I'm so blessed, and I wish all the youth that if you have challenges in your life, don't give up. I fight, because ultimately the day will pass and you will come out of it. You come out in a good way, bad way, and a worst way. It is up to us. But if you move ahead and take it the challenge every day, the day it comes, then definitely we can change the world. We can change ourselves, and we can change our thought process.
Very true. Now I'll be jumping in the last segment. It's all about Hope Talk. So, Dr. Nihal, could you please give your key message to all the adolescent and youth, how they can be more creative and engage in innovative work and in localization of sustainable development goals?
Okay, great question, and I would love to answer this in my way. So the challenge faced by the youth, or the challenge faced by lack of opportunities, that is what the question I come across the globe I travel, that the youth says that they don't have opportunities, or the competition is so high. I say that the human being is created in such a way that everyone has equal qualities. The quality which you have I may not have, or what I have you may not have. It is just to understand what potential you have, and how you can take your potential into ideas to action and transform to your professionals. Someone may be a good photographer, but if he wants to study a science, probably he may not be good in science, but he may be good in photography. So you should understand that where your potential is all about. I come from a medical background. My mother wanted to make me a doctor. I could not study. I said, I'm a lame guy. I can't study. And so my mom was very unhappy. But I decided that I should get a doctor degree. I did my PhD, and I'm a doctor, though I'm not a medical practitioner, but I achieved that. So there's alternative ways for everything. It is just we have to look for it, and accept the challenges. And the best thing is to look for your own potential. It is not important what your best friend is doing, you should do the same thing, or what your neighbor is doing, you should do the same thing, and they are earning in six-figure salaries. Generally, the comparison between the youth among the youth is they look for like they look for their friends that they are doing this much and they are earning this much. It's their skills to earn. Your skill may be vary from, probably you may earn double of that if you understand your own skills. So I feel that mastering your skills is easier than mastering other skills.
Okay, very, very much meaningful insight. So we are almost at the end of the session. So do you want to say something more?
I would like to tell all the youth, all your subscribers that the most important task in your life is to understand your quality. Because we look for others, we look for people who's doing good, who's doing well. Look at your own skills. Stop looking others. You are individual personality. Look for your own potential and do things which suits your personality and which you can think that you can master it. That is very important.
Much
Do
appreciated. Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me here. It was a wonderful day with you in this beautiful campus in Jaipur. And I can leave my email address if you or your subscriber wants to know more about the career with the United Nations or international agencies or a governmental or non-governmental agency. You can reach out to me. I will be happy to assist you guys. But make sure that you work hard for your goals. Nothing is free in this world. You have to sweat yourself to get achieve what you want to achieve in life. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your valuable time and insight. I'm very much happy. You cannot imagine how much I am happy to meet you after half of our decade, half
Yes.
of our decade. So last time we met at South Karnataka, Mangalore at one of the conference, and today here we met at Jaipur. World is very small, so we need
Yes.
to keep updating and sharing, handling the social media very properly. So
I'm
thank you
glad to see the Kusum's journey. She started when I met her 5 years ago. She was a youth and she was finding her path. But today she is doing her masters and she knows that what is her future. And she took her profession so seriously that within 5 years she has achieved her goals and she is at the best university now and doing the best course. I wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and your leadership will definitely lead lot of youth in Nepal and around the globe. All the youth will are focusing on your commitments towards the health agenda, and your findings and research will be very helpful for everyone. So I wish you all the best and do your best in this course so that you can be a good mentor for every one of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's bid adieu for now and stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.